Good. We have one more minute. I'll give it a few to let people start to get on. When you do come on, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let me know that you can hear me, see me. It's day 1 of the 5-day reset, and today will be all about flipping the switch. Okay, I think this is it. I don't know why this is here. I am going to dive right in. It is 9 o'clock, and I want to honor everybody's time. I know time is a precious commodity, especially this time of year, but almost any time of year. People are busy, people are tired, people are wanting to get on with their nights or days. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Mary Kerwin, the founder of Confident Kids Now and creator of this 5-day reset, where we are going to dive deep into the skill sets needed to build confidence and to help you get unstuck, ditch the overwhelm, stop the indecisiveness, to stress less in your day-to-day life so that you can build more happiness and joy into your parenting and have kids who grow up feeling strong, powerful, confident, and grow into tomorrow's leaders. Now, we all know that being a parent is a wonderful experience. It's a role that can bring you great joy, great happiness. Nothing really can top nurturing your child, watching them grow, watching them develop. But being a parent can also be daunting and overwhelming because there are so many day-to-day challenges, and there's always that little voice in the back of your head that tells you you're supposed to know how to do this. And parents get stuck in overwhelm because they haven't figured out how to trust their instincts. And confident kids need confident parents, because if you're not building your confidence as a parent, you'll continue to second guess yourself and be stuck. And lately, I've been having a ton of conversations with moms and dads and even grandparents and teachers. And I got the sense that they're all on the same hamster wheel. They read the books, they followed the advice, but what they're saying in the books doesn't work for you, and you're not getting the results you want. And you speak to your friends and colleagues, but it either turns into a gripe session or who can top this, whose kid is the best or whose kid is the worst. And you work hard to give your kid everything, but they don't seem to appreciate it. And no matter what you give them, still doesn't seem to be enough. You know, there are days you reason, yell, punish, cajole, but nothing seems to make a difference. And you worry about grades, you worry about behavior, you're worried about disrespect, you're worried about their future. And the people you turn to, your friends, your experts, the families, don't actually make you feel worse, and sometimes even don't actually make you feel better, and sometimes even make you feel worse. And there's a little bit of embarrassment there, maybe, because you don't know what to do instinctively. You don't know what to do intuitively. You feel like you're parenting by the seat of your pants, and it doesn't seem like anybody else is, so you think that makes you a bad parent or grandmother or grandparent or teacher. And you feel weird going to get help, and because all these other families look like Ozzie and Harriet, and I'm dating myself there, I guess. So maybe you'll try to copy them and compare yourselves to them, but it's not working because you're a totally different family, and they're probably not the ideal family anyway, because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, right? So this is for you. Then we're going to take 5 days to let you know that, parents, you've got this. You are already good parents. And what you don't have is the mindset. It really all comes down to choices, and what you think, what you choose to believe and think. And you either make these choices consciously or subconsciously, but we're going to try to flip the switch on the things that no longer serve you. So, hi, Claudia. Hi, Maria. Marie Fatoni. Welcome, welcome. I'm powering through this. So, you know, your brain has plasticity. You're not stuck believing the same thing you believed all the while. You can change it. It's a simple thing, but it's not an easy thing. So we're going to break down I have my notes here, 3 of the biggest stressors that I've received, that people have written and spoken to me about. And we're going to flip the switch with them. But you have to take personal responsibility. You have to be willing to do it. It takes a little bit of doing, but your mind leads you on everything. So the first one we're going to talk about is your goal. What's the number one goal that you would love to achieve when it comes to parenting and your kids that you haven't achieved yet? And you could either write it in the comments, or you could just write it down for yourself. Let's take a sip. Okay, now write down all the reasons why you haven't achieved it yet, or write down at least 3 reasons, because again, I don't want to take forever to do it. Not that I don't want to take. I want to be conscious of your time. I will take forever. I could talk about this forever and ever and ever, but I won't. So your number one goal, and what's holding you back from achieving it. Okay, now I want you to think about or write down how not having that is serving you. What's it doing for you not having that? Because it has to be doing something for you. If your goal is to not yell at your kids so much, and you're yelling at your kids, what is yelling at your kids doing for you? If your goal is to, and this is a goal for you, not for your kids. I didn't clarify that. You know, it's not that I want my kids to be perfect, because that would be their goal, not yours. something in your own self. Okay. Now, anything that you wrote down that says I can't, or I don't have the time, or I want you to cross out and replace the can'ts with I don't want to, or I won't. If it's I don't have the time to do it, it's more like I won't take the time to do it. Hi, Lillian. Oh, my parents are here. So excited. So we're flipping the switch. So instead of the I can't, it's I won't, or I don't want to give the time to, or it's not important, because the I can't is a choice. Okay. The second second switch we're going to flip is the comparison. You know, you look at other people's families and they look like Ozzie and Harriet and you want to be like them. Or you look at somebody else's child and you think, oh, if only my daughter would be like that. Teddy Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. And to a certain extent, that's true. Now, it's human nature. We compare. It's, I'm not going to say don't ever compare because that's an impossibility, but let's use it to our advantage. If you're going to compare, look at something for for a goal that you want to reach, a higher being. But for the comparisons where you're feeling less than, immediately go to all the things that you have on your side. So if you are saying, I wish that my son got grades like Billy, you know, because, you know, we get a little jealous, immediately go to, but my son is really sweet. My son is very helpful. My son tries really hard. He does his best. Immediately, for every negative thought, put in your head 5 positive thoughts. I wish my daughter were more independent and didn't rely on me so much. Maybe you could say, but my daughter is loving and sweet and kind. And I'm not saying that you can't set up a plan to make that happen, but don't want something that's to happen without working toward it. And again, I will say this again, these are your goals. If your kids have goals, it has to be their own goals, and we can work on a plan for them to figure out how to get there, to get from point A to point B. The actuality of life is that you can't make anybody do anything that they don't want to do. Your kids do what you tell them to do, mostly because they want to, or sometimes because they don't want to accept the consequences. And consequences, I believe, are very important. But you cannot make them do things that they don't want to do. They may do them in front of you, or they may do it for the moment, but it's not a lasting relationship with it. Open communication is important, and they will watch what you do, and they will, you know, kids do what you do, not what you say. So if you wanna lead by example, that's the best way to get them into a more positive mindset. So if you want them to think that they can do things, then you have to show them that you can do things. And when things don't work out for you, you have to kind of think out loud, with this didn't work, how can I fix it to make it work the way I want to? So it's not a one and done thing. It's a continuum. So we're not gonna. We're gonna take what we can and move forward. Take what we have and move forward with it. And not everything is going to work out. And it's a good learning experience that doesn't work out. And when it happens with your kids, you can be there for them, but letting them figure out how to make it better themselves, without you stepping in to fix it for them, is going to be a monumental growth for them. It's really hard to fail. I mean, it's really hard to fall on your face. Nobody likes to do it. Sometimes it's embarrassing because people are around. Sometimes it's just frustrating. Sometimes it really, you know, the consequences are even worse. But the only way that you're going to get through that, is by looking at what you did and what can be done differently. And it doesn't mean the second time it's going to work out either. It may take a couple of different tries. and we have to give ourselves that, we have to give our kids that same benefit where they can look at what they do, and make it better or make it the way they want it to be. You constantly fix things for them, they stay stuck. They it's telling them subliminally or subconsciously that they don't have the ability to do it. And the only way you get better at doing something is to keep on doing it. So, so when they start to compare themselves to other people, you can tell them, oh, but you're this, you're that, you're the other, but it's much, 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 much more beneficial if you could ask them what they have that the other person doesn't have. Because everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses, and it doesn't make one person better than the other. It doesn't make one person worse than the other. It just makes us different and have different strengths and weaknesses. And that's a good thing. And that we should celebrate. You know, the more we celebrate ourselves and our differences, the better this world is going to be. And the more we can fail, for want of a better word, or mess up, or just not achieve, and go back and look at it and work for it, work around the mistakes. The better that the better equipped our kids will be, and that goes for grades too. I know it's really when you're if and when your kid comes home with a grade that is less than stellar, let's say, I know my first reaction is like, how could you do this? But like, well, what happened? You didn't study? No video games, no this, no this, but that doesn't really help them. Then the natural consequence to whatever, and it may not have been anything that they did. If they didn't study at all, the natural consequences, their grade reflected what they did. To ask them, you know, is this your best work? And have them actually think about what they're capable of. And can we make this better, or do you need help making this better is another question you could ask them. Because, you know, there's some kids who really think that they can't do things on their own, you know, that they need more help. So comparison was flip number 2. And flip number 3 is a hard one. It's the worry and fear that you have, and you know, the worry and fear is we shouldn't look at it as or I don't know if you do, but it's not a bad thing. You know, it keeps us safe, it keeps us alive, it keeps us from, you know, crossing the street in front of cars. So worry and fear is not a bad thing, and again, it keeps us safe, but it keeps us also stuck. It keeps us from stepping out of our comfort zone. So if we take, and usually when we're worried or fearful of something, it really is an indication of something that we probably should do. And not all the time, again, but as parents, like if we don't want to, if we're worried about our kids, or we're worried about giving them more responsibilities, it's probably something that we should do. And fear and worry, it's deep-seated, and sometimes deep-seated, and different people need different modalities and ways to deal with it. But the one thing that we all have to think about when we're worrying and fearful is it life-threatening? And if it's not, I mean, anything could be life-threatening, but if it's not imminently life-threatening, to proceed forward with caution. Take baby steps to move past your fear. Look at the fear as something that you have to walk through, not necessarily overcome. It may not be, you may go through a whole scenario and still be a little bit fearful, but to walk through it, and it will make you much more confident. An example would be skiing. Some people take to the slopes like I don't know, I don't know what takes to the slopes, but some people are afraid. They're afraid to go down the hill. They're afraid to go up the ski slope. And so you take baby steps. You just start by, what do you call that? Snowshoeing, walking with the skis, cross-country skiing, and then do the bunny slope. It doesn't matter that everybody else there is 3 years old and zooming past you. Get proficient at it. And it's the same thing with our kids. If we're fearful to let our kids do something that they want to do, not because it's bizarre or really, really extreme sports, but because we're afraid to let them go, take baby steps to do it. They need to figure out their own independence. They need to figure out, they need to be able to move on their own. And you need to feel confident that you raise them in a way that they can do that. So the more confident you get in your abilities, the less stress there'll be in your life. A lot of people have been asking me about Christmas and Christmas presents, and it's that I have, it really is the presence and not the present. Giving them experiences either with their family or otherwise, with their friends is gonna make a lot more of an impression on them than all the toys that you give them. I don't know about you, but I know for me, I could remember maybe as one present that I got as a kid that made an impact on me, that I still remember it now. Now I'm going to date myself again. The Chatty Cathy, this big Chatty Patty Cathy, and it was a doll that was probably as big as I was because I wasn't very tall. And it kind of, you pulled it and it walked and it talked. And I got that one Christmas, and that's really the only Christmas gift that I remember. I mean, otherwise it was like my family coming over and playing board games with my nephews and my siblings, or everybody eating at the table. But I don't really remember not getting a gift that I wanted, or getting a gift that was, or getting 5,000 gifts at Christmas time. And I think we're getting away from that when you give kids too much, nothing is worth anything. Again, it's not a, it becomes, the more you have, the less each thing is worth. It's supply and demand, and their supply is, some kids' supplies are just over the top. They have a glut of stuff, and they can't even use it all, and all they want is the next best thing. So that those are the 3 switches. Yeah, and again, now I'm going to just to leave you with some exercises to do. I want you are, again, enough. I know that some of these parenting groups, there's gentle parenting and peaceful parenting and this parenting and that parenting, and they're all well and good for some people. But I believe that you are good parents, and that you take what you have and use it to the best of your ability. And when it's done with love, and when it's done with a modicum of thought, your kids appreciate it. There was definitely times when I was, to be kind to myself, a less than stellar parent. When you lost your temper, when I lost my temper, when I probably neglected, and neglected is a harsh word, didn't pay enough attention to my kids, or paid too much attention to some things, or didn't respond in an appropriate way, or to something that they did or didn't do. But they're grown now. They're contributing members of society. They are employed, and they keep coming back. They come home. So I guess, it's, and I'm proud of each one of them. They all, each of them are very, very different. But I am proud of each one of them, and they've all found their own paths. My oldest son, who was the scholar, who was graduated second in his class in high school, was now working construction, and he went to college. He went to Syracuse University. He's working construction, because that's what he wants to do. And my second son, who was not quite the scholar, who was actually uninvited from college, is now heading a department at Con Ed, and he's kind and considerate and gentle and loving. And my daughter is getting married, and she is always concerned about, she was always my mother, she's always concerned about making sure everybody's okay and the family gets together, even when I'm not, if I'm traveling. And my youngest son is charming and working and hangs out with his brothers whenever he can, and sister. Forgetting about her. And I think that most people who know them, who've met them, think that they're very nice young men and women, or not so young anymore. And they treat people kindly. They treat people well. They treat each other well. They treat me well. And it's and it's the nature of the beast. And they're independent, and they but yet they take care of each other. And so I couldn't have asked for anything more. And again, there were many times when I was less than perfect. So I think that we have to stop, not focus on what you're not doing, focus on what you are. And when you focus on what you are doing and you're doing well, and it grows, and your confidence will grow. And if you're not, if you're stuck or indecisive, pick up the phone or direct message me, and we'll get on the phone and talk about it, because everybody needs someone to talk to. I was lucky enough to have an older sister who was very wise, went before me, and had 5 kids of her own, it was so I was lucky to have somebody to talk to like that, because again, you can talk to your friends, but that's not always optimum. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you feel judged, or it's embarrassing. Sometimes if you're talking to someone that is on one of your peers, when they seem to have it all together and you don't. So in a non-judgmental way. We also have the Stress Less group that you could post in, DM or regular posts, because this is it's a really good group to have throw ideas at and have not be judged for them. So wow, that was fast. I don't know if I talked too fast. So that I really, if anyone has any questions, I can try to answer them, but I don't really have much else to say, except that I'm glad that you're all on, and it's good to see some old, I don't want to say old faces, some familiar faces. Calmed me down right away, and I appreciate you taking the time to be on this. Tomorrow night we will be talking about, what we'll be talking about. I have to go look it up because I can't keep anything in my head. Tomorrow night we will be talking about the 4 pillars you need for confidence, and that goes for you and it goes for the kids. And this is my mission in life. I mean, my mission is to bring to kids skills needed to build confidence, because I think that we're not doing, as a society, we're not doing such a great job. If you look, I won't even get into the depressing part, but and so I've noticed the change, and I've noticed the slide in kids' confidence, and so I started Confident Kids Now to work with kids, but I realized that I can't reach as many kids on my own as I can if I can get parents and teachers and grandparents on board to help me do it, because I think it's an important thing, because we are building tomorrow's leaders, and we want them to lead confidently and have and know their worth. So tomorrow is all about the 4 pillars, and I will do that with you, so you can then take that in and then share it with the with the younger generation. So, okay, any questions? No. Okay, thank you again. I won't hold you anymore. Again, I want to be respectful of your time, and I hope you can. I'll see you. I'll see you. Well, you'll see me. I won't see you tomorrow. And until then, Mary Kerwin from Confident Kids Now, signing off.